Hey, welcome to the Nursing Dose with your host, Farah, aka Dr. Laurent. Today, I want to talk to you about something that I talk about all the time: visibility and branding for nurses, and why it's important for you to pay attention to it and start managing your brand and start being more visible for growth. Okay. So, sorry, I just my computer's dying. Gotta charge it real quick. I thought I charged it. So for those who are watching, let me know where you're watching from, what city, what country. Drop it in the chat. Let me know if you have any questions about visibility and branding. We're gonna get into it. And also, I'm gonna share 3 tips that'll help you with branding and also visibility. And for those who don't know me, you may have seen me on the Jennifer Hudson Show or Black Enterprise, various media, sharing my story about being a nurse career coach, starting off in the emergency department in Canada and moving to New York to be a travel nurse, and then having a bunch of different challenges, making my way up to education, leadership, always turning my struggles to educate other nurses, empower other nurses, and motivate nurses to be bold and to go after what it is that they want. Okay. Y'all, excuse me. I was also supposed to sign on TikTok. Give me one sec. Um, Give me one more. All right. So, excuse me. So I'm trying to get live, over here real quick. It's taking me a minute. All right, cool. So as I'm talking to you, let me know any questions that you have. What is personal branding, right? What does it mean to you? Have you heard about it? What does visibility really mean? And are you currently struggling in your career or business? Let me know in the chat, because many nurses are, I know, feeling stuck, sometimes feeling fearful about being more visible or maybe creating content and stuff like that. So we're going to get right into it in just a moment here. So let me know again if you are watching, where you're watching from. Okay. So, like I said, really the reason that I say that it's so important to be visible and to build a brand as a nurse is for growth. What type of growth? Growth in your career and also in your business if you do have a business. Or maybe, if you've been thinking about potentially starting a business, but you're not quite sure, maybe you want to be a speaker or you want to write a book, whatever the case is, you can't do any of those things without visibility and building a brand first, right? Same thing at work. Let's say you want to get promoted to a leadership position or something like that. You got to make sure that you have branding and visibility. Okay, sorry, my mic today, all my tech stuff is all over the place, so I apologize. And if you happen to be watching the replay too, let me know any questions or comments. Throw them in the chat, and I'll go back and answer it. Okay. So, like I said, I wanted to come on and strictly talk about visibility and branding. When I first started as a nurse, I was very heads down, work, focus on the emergency department. And then I couldn't figure out, I got all these certifications, I have all these degrees, I'm doing all the right things, I'm working hard. I was like, maybe I'll get noticed and I'll automatically get promoted, but it doesn't work like that. I wasn't getting automatically promoted. I was applying to jobs, even though I was qualified on paper, I wasn't getting the positions, right? And of course, it had to do a lot of things, in terms of I know there's a lot of politics in the hospital system and things like that. But what I realized is I was not managing my personal brand correctly, right? And for those nurses, they're like, what is a personal brand? What are you talking about? What does that have anything to do with nursing, right? It has a lot to do with nursing. You may not realize that you have a brand, but you do have a brand. You are the brand. So whether you're managing it or not, it's being managed for you. Essentially, it's your reputation. It's what people think about you, what they feel about you when they, hear about your name, things like that, right? So in order for you to grow at work, meaning get promoted, or, if you're not in rooms, people can literally help accelerate your career if they know the true you and you're being represented accurately. So this means building a brand means knowing who you are strongly, knowing your values, knowing what you stand for, what impact you want to make, what purpose you want to make, and then being able to demonstrate that in every interaction when you are interacting with any person, how you demonstrate yourself, how you carry yourself, the things that you're in alignment with, right? And when you build a strong personal brand, people will know you for something. They're like, oh, I know Farah. She helps new graduate nurses land their dream role. That's what she does, right? So it's like what you're known for. And then they'll also describe you in terms of like traits or skills, right? They'll say, oh, I know her personality. Like she's really bubbly, bold, loves to have fun, loves to speak to people. She's an advocate, a lot of energy. That's one of my big things I get a lot from people, especially when they meet me in person. Like, whoa, you have like a really big, great energy. So it goes along also with your personality, your traits, your skills, and how you present yourself. Okay. A little bit of that also has to do with image, especially like, let's say you do have a business, a little bit is like your brand logo and your colors and things like that. But honestly, that's not the essence of your brand. The essence of your brand is you, truly you. That is the essence of your brand. You are the brand. How you conduct yourself, what values, how you speak, how you carry yourself. That's how people remember you. And that's how people will refer you for jobs, refer you for business or whatever. So this is why it's so important to work on your personal brand as a nurse. All right. What up, TikTok? I see you in there, Voni. Shout out to you from Toronto, right? The T dot. And if anyone from YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, if you're interested to learn more about how to build your personal brand, maybe you're struggling, you're trying to get into a leadership or education role, or maybe you're interested in starting a business, right? I'm actually having a business mastermind next weekend in Clearwater Beach. It's an in-person mastermind, business mastermind, and I'll be focusing a lot on visibility and branding and, of course, marketing for early business owners that are in nursing or in other healthcare professions that want to start a business or they want to grow their business. So there is still space left if you are interested to join in Clearwater Beach. And let's be spontaneous. Like, right? It's not like people are like, oh, it's too late. Like, let's take action. If you want to start a business, you want to grow your business, you're like, I'm tired of the same old thing. I'm not moving anywhere. You don't want to be in the same place next year. So this business mastermind is for you. If you want to learn about personal branding, visibility, marketing, how to promote yourself, all that great stuff, message me and I'll give you information about how to do that. And I also have a virtual business mastermind also coming up. So if you're interested in that, like, let's say, you can't make the travel, absolutely not, message me. Oh, girl, thank you. I know these earrings, right? These earrings are by someone named Alexis Daniels and based out of Dallas, Texas. It's called And Made. She's on Instagram and she has a website. I'm telling you, like I said, I was featured on Black Enterprise on this podcast called Class in Session for my work that I do with new graduate nurses, helping them land their dream job. Check out that episode. It's on YouTube and all the Black Enterprise platforms. And Ashley, the host of the show, was interviewing me. And before the interview, I just could not stop looking at her earrings. And I was like, where did you get those earrings? So she's like, oh, someone gifted these to me. It wasn't these exact earrings, but she's like, oh, someone gifted them to me. And I was like, I need to know who it is. So I wrote the name down and I went to find her on Instagram, and then I clicked on her website. So I'll drop the like I said, it's called like A-N-D, and then Made by Hand. So Instagram. Girl, let me show you. These earrings just came in. Okay, seriously, I need to I need to be like a brand ambassador for her. These are another pair of earrings that I got. Okay, these cool hoop earrings, and I can't wait to wear these ones, y'all. Okay, so anyways, okay, side note. So thank you. Yeah, so again, this is part of my personal brand, right? I like to add a little bit of color, a little bit of fun to what I wear, and stuff like that. So that's what I bring to my conference too. So I have a conference that I just held in March. It'll be happening again 2026, March 2026 in Tampa, Florida. The name of the conference, the first one was called Nurses Making Money Moves. The second one is called Nurses Making Business Moves. So definitely check that out. One of the biggest compliments that I got at that conference, shout out to Teresa Sanderson, who was one of the speakers. She was like, Farah, I have to tell you, this was your first event. She's like, you did amazing. And she's like, it was totally on brand. Because what I really wanted was to make an event that was like super fun, educational, enthusiastic, like not boring, because I'm all about having fun and making it different, right? So check out my events. Like I said, my business masterminds. If you're interested, message me. The conference called Nurses Making Business Moves. Message me. I'll send you the link. So let's get into my tips, because I only have a few minutes left. Okay. Tip number 1, define your niche and expertise, okay? This will help you in terms of personal branding and also visibility. Like if you're creating content, if you're going on podcasts and talking about stuff, you need to define what your niche is, what's your expertise, or if you don't have something like that, what are the topics that you're passionate about, right? For me, it's like increasing diversity in nursing, empowering women, particularly female entrepreneurs, to grow their business or start their businesses, particularly nurses, to make money moves, make business moves. So, and then just like nurses being more bold and getting what they want, right? Like, for example, helping new nurses get into specialty areas that they want. Because when I was a new nurse, they told me I couldn't be in the ER. And of course, went straight to the ER. I was like, you can't tell me nothing. Okay. So number 1, define your niche and expertise. This is going to help you also gain opportunities like speaking engagements. I've been invited to so many speaking engagements, conferences, to speak on panels about entrepreneurship and personal branding. Those are 2 things that I love to talk about for nursing. And then also just in general, for new nurses, right? Talking at universities and stuff like that about how to transition into practice, particularly interview skills and, and career development, that type of stuff. So if you're interested in getting a speaker for a conference about personal branding, entrepreneurship, or career growth, I'm your girl. All right. Number 2, your signature story. So in the beginning, I was afraid to tell a lot of my story. If you just go to YouTube and like put my name, you'll see a bunch of podcasts that I've been on. I have my own podcast called The Nursing Dose with Farah, and this is part of building my brand and my visibility. I've been on so many podcasts where I tell my story, and that is my signature story, right? Basically, first-gen immigrant, didn't speak English. When I moved to Canada, I spoke French and I had to learn how to speak English. Quickly went in to become the first to graduate from my family with a bachelor's, then a master's, and then a doctorate. So proud first-gen, doctorally prepared nurse. Had a lot of challenges. Like I said, in nursing school, it wasn't that diverse, like the faculty. And then they told me I'd never be an ER nurse. So that really fueled me to help other new nurses. So that's part of my story that I share all the time. And then I also got laid off 3 times in the last 5 years. Climbing up the, leadership ladder was not easy. Made it up to associate dean, made it up to director of education and all these things, right? But when I started advocating in the workplace, there was a lot of microaggressions, a lot of different things. And then I realized, wow, like regardless of your expertise, your degrees, certifications, there's still a lot of toxicity out there in healthcare. So, I still advocated, I still spoke up, but of course, got laid off 3 times. So then that's when I really pushed more towards building my business as a nurse career coach, helping the next generation of nurses. And then so many nurses started reaching out to me like, hey, how can I start my own business? How can I be a consultant? How can I be a coach? And this is what I do now with these events. Literally I got laid off August, about a year or so ago, and put on a conference. That first conference, I had never put on an event before in less than 3 months. Everyone said I was crazy. You can't do it. No one's going to show up. And that was during Christmas time and New Year's. I sold a bunch of tickets before New Year's, planned my conference in less than 3 months, and had about 80 nurses from 20 different states who flew to Tampa to come to this conference, right? And the majority of them I didn't know. A couple of them, yes, came to support that I knew. But when I set my mind to something, I'm like, it's going to happen. I'm going to do it. And it was something that I've been thinking about for years. I'm like, I want to create an event for nurses that talks about money, talks about how to make business moves, because it doesn't get talked about a lot. And I want it to be real and not fluff, right? So that everybody can come together, a diverse speakers, diverse panel, so we can get all types of different, ideas and celebrate each other and things like that. And it's not just nurses. I'm inviting other industries to come in so that we can all learn from different industries and grow, make money, and make business moves. All right. So that's my signature story. You need to build your own and tell your story everywhere you go. Number 3 is build visibility strategically. So I came up with the Nursing Dose with Farah. I've been going live for the last 4 years. I built my platform on LinkedIn to over 30K. I'm new to TikTok, so shout out to everybody just joining and appreciate the support. Please follow me. Please share my content. Really what I do a lot on TikTok and also on LinkedIn is I share my education, my experiences, which builds my authority in the nursing industry, right? And you need to do the same for whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's in your career or in your business. So again, it'll open up more doors, more opportunities. You'll get asked to speak at places or even be a consultant and things like that, right? A lot of the jobs that I've been offered before weren't even jobs that were posted. They were jobs that were created specifically by me. I mean, specifically for me by people who I just was networking with, whether in person or online. Right? Storytelling is very powerful. So that's why I share, you should share your story to be visible. And then create content. A lot of people are afraid to create content, but you got to show up. You got to be consistent in order to build that personal brand and that visibility for you to make impact in whatever it is that you want to do. Whether you want to start a nonprofit, write a book, be a business owner, whatever it is, people need to know you, people need to see you, and people need to trust you, right? And then content, and like I said, is huge, right? So figure out, I would say start on 1 to 2 platforms. You can't start on all of them, but streaming is probably the best thing that you can do, because right now I'm streaming on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and I'm on TikTok. Y'all, I'm waiting for my my tripod, because it broke. So I'm holding literally my phone right now for TikTok. What's up, Angela, Jane, Marcia, everybody? And then being on podcasts, like let's say you don't want to start your own podcast. By the way, go to my podcast and subscribe, The Nursing Dose with Farah on YouTube and Spotify. Well, actually go to YouTube because it's more up to date. And then I'm trying to think, you guys let me know in the chat or inbox me. I'm trying to switch my podcast to be more specific to new nurses potentially, and do one for that. And even maybe do 2 podcasts and do like a second podcast for nurses who are interested in business, to keep it separate. So let me know what you guys think. And that'll probably come out early in the new year. And then writing articles, publications, those types of things will help you build your visibility strategically. All right. So those are my 3 tips. And if you missed it, number 1, if you want to build your brand, personal brand, and be more visible, you need to define, number 1, define your niche and expertise. Number 2, find your signature story and craft that up in a way that's memorable, that other people can tell easily and that you can be known for, right? And then you need to be a little bit vulnerable. There's going to be probably a struggle story somewhere in there and how you came over that and like experiences you could share with others. Okay. And then number 3, build visibility strategically. So go to events strategically. Conferences, networking events are very important for you to grow in your industry, and also get outside of the nursing industry and go to other events. Like I go to business events all the time, and that has helped me grow that way as well. So yeah, those are my 3 tips. Please follow me for more content. If you're not connected with me, please connect with me. Like I said, I have various events that I'm throwing virtually and in person. If you want to come to my business mastermind next weekend in Clearwater Beach, you can fly into Tampa, cheap flights, round trip for like $200-300. And if you want the link to sign up, I do have a couple spots left, so let me know. Just send me a message for that business mastermind. And then I also have a virtual business mastermind that's coming up later on, but you want to come to the in-person one. It's much better. Your hotel gets covered. You literally just have to get there. You have a 3-night stay. Food is included, 3-hour open bar, beachfront luxury hotel. You get a spa treatment, either a massage or a facial, like it's lit. And then you get to really hang out with people in person and meet other people from all over the US who are like-minded, into business, want to make money moves, want to make business moves. So if you're interested in the business mastermind, message me. Clearwater Beach next weekend, October 10th to the 13th. Check out my conference for next year, March 2026, Nurses Making Business Moves. And then please follow my content. I also have 2 newsletters on LinkedIn, and then you can go to my website and subscribe. I should be launching that newsletter very soon. And on TikTok, if you're a new nurse or anywhere here, also, if you're a new nurse and you want to land your dream job, message me. I have a group coaching that's going on right now. Or if you want to work one-on-one with me, direct message me. We can land your dream role in less than 90 days. All right. And I know, thank you again for the compliment of the earrings. I can't wait to wear the other ones. All right. Have a wonderful Saturday. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful. Again, for those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Farah Laurent. Check out my content, share, please follow, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Stay visible and build that personal brand to get more opportunities and to make money moves and business moves. All right. Take care, y'all. Bye.